Learn from me, if not by my precepts, at least by my example. How dangerous is the acquirement of knowledge. How much happier that man is who believes his native town to be the world, than he who aspires to become greater than his nature will allow. Winter, spring, and summer pass away during my labors, but I did not watch the blossom or the expanding leaves, sights which before always yielded me supreme delight. So deeply was I engrossed in my occupation. When the year had almost run its full course, the sun had already begun its wavering seasonal descent. I had been taken further from home than I had ever expected, yet closer, I felt, at last, to the discovery. There were rumors in these parts of the creature. Unclothed, untamed, unseen, running wild. The fearful tenders of the land greeted each day by new wanton violence and destruction of their flock. As much as for my own discovery and acquirement of knowledge, it was my duty to rid these fair people of the scourge of the land. I pursued nature to her hiding places. Who shall conceive the horrors of my secret toil? I knew we were close. How can I describe my emotions at this catastrophe, or how delineate the wretch whom with such infinite pains and care I had endeavored to find? His limbs were in proportion, and I had selected his features as beautiful. Beautiful! Great God! His eyes, if eyes they may be called, were fixed on me. His jaws opened and he muttered some inarticulate sounds, while a grin wrinkled his cheeks. He might have spoken, but I did not hear. One hand was stretched out, seemingly to take what I had offered. But instead I took him, captured, bound to my will. At length his speed suddenly increased. He left me behind and I was left gazing on the ground, overcome by fatigue and despair. He soon reached the summit and disappeared. I followed him. It was near nightfall upon our return. The creature in its pursuit of an escape had drained us near entirely of any remaining energy. My candle was nearly burnt out when, by the glimmer of the half-extinguished light, I saw the dull yellow eye of the creature open. He was on shore, having spent all of his life exposed with not a roof nor fire hearth even conceivable in his mind's eye. But curiously he was drawn to that dank corner. I thought to myself that it was the place in my home closest he could find to whatever sad cave he made shelter for himself in the barren wilderness. The day had been long, and I let him seek comfort and solace in what lay familiar. I remained motionless. The storm had abated. The light of the moon shone upon my face, and I found myself calm, if not delighted. I retired to rest, and dreamt that I was in my native town. It was next morning I eagerly awoke. The work could begin at last in earnest. I sought to make peace with the creature for whom in my slumber I had felt a surge of pity, plucked so rudely from its dwelling. Yet I recalled my aims once more, to pioneer a new way, explore unknown powers, and unfold to the world the deepest mysteries of creation. The smell of breakfast meats tempted the creature from its hole. Attack struck me with terror. The creature's violence was not out of wickedness, but untamed will. If he were to be tamed, the threats would cease. I was hurried away by fury. Revenge alone endowed me with strength and composure. It molded my feelings and allowed me to be calculating and calm. After so much time spent in painful labor, to arrive at once at the summit of my desires was the most gratifying consummation of my toils. The sun became warmer, the light of day longer. These events produced in him a pleasure which was somewhat new and delightful. For the first time also, I felt what the duties of a creator towards this creature were, and that I ought to render him happy before I complained of his wickedness. My companion obeyed me, and we walked on together. He sometimes raised his head and smiled with a kind of half-frenzied joy. His eyes were, though, still insensible to the charms of nature. I began to see progress in the beast. My creature, once ungoverned, learned the smallest courtesies of man. He raised himself from his seat, and I saw him pull the chain that bound him. At last I saw no cause for fear. I looked upon him as on myself, and smiled. Yet I saw in him the struggle of a soul newly born to consciousness, a being who wished to express his sensations in his own mode, yet found only uncouth, inarticulate sounds breaking from him. I drew forth the mirror from my pocket, that he might behold himself. "Look," I said, "and tell me what you see." I beheld the accomplishment of my toils. With an anxiety that almost amounted to agony, I collected the instruments of life around me, that I might infuse a spark of being into the thing that lay at my feet.
I felt emotions of gentleness and pleasure that had long appeared dead revive within me. Was man indeed at once so powerful, so virtuous and magnificent, yet so vicious and base? A new species would bless me as its creator and source. No father could claim the gratitude of his child so completely as I should deserve theirs.
loose into the world a depraved wretch whose delight was in carnage and misery. I could not sacrifice the whole human race. He might be rendered miserable, but he should not overpower me. I devoted myself either in my life or death to his destruction. I call on you, spirits of the dead, and on you, wandering ministers of vengeance, to aid and conduct me in my work. The cup of life was poisoned forever, and when I thought of my beloved, desolation and death sat upon my heart.
We sat late, listening to the sound of merriment in the streets. And I felt a sadness that I could not shake off.